Most people believe saving money in the bank makes them financially safe. They are completely wrong. Safety is not what a savings account provides. It provides the illusion of safety. Charlie Munger once said that the first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. But what he did not say, and what few people truly understand, is that inflation interrupts compounding every single day, silently, without headlines, without alarms. Imagine a harbor that looks perfectly calm on the surface, no waves, no wind, no danger, and yet beyond the horizon, a Category 5 financial hurricane is forming. This is the reality of modern money. You deposit your earnings into what feels like a secure vault. You check your balance. The number remains the same, or even increases slightly. So you assume you are moving forward. But what if I told you the harbor itself is sinking? That the ground beneath your financial ship is slowly dissolving? That the true danger is not volatility, but invisibility? This is the inflation trap. And if you are between 28 and 40 years old, earning a stable salary, saving responsibly, and believing you are doing everything right, turn off all distractions. Because the next 25 minutes may be the most important financial reality check of your life. We must begin with a structural truth. Let me introduce you to Daniel. Few people are willing to face. Daniel is disciplined. He saves $1,000 every month into a bank account earning 2% interest. Ryan saves less aggressively. Only $600 per month, but he invests into productive assets averaging 8% long-term returns. After 15 years, Daniel has saved roughly $180,000. On the surface, Daniel appears wiser, more disciplined, more secure. But when adjusted for inflation averaging 3%, Daniel's purchasing power is closer to $135,000 in today's terms. Ryan's portfolio, however, has compounded to approximately $185,000. The illusion of safety becomes a silent loss. And here is the psychological twist. Daniel feels proud. Ryan feels uncertain, because stability creates emotional comfort, while volatility creates emotional discomfort. But markets reward discomfort and punish complacency. Financial stress research suggests that when individuals perceive uncertainty, cognitive bandwidth shrinks dramatically, which means intelligent savers often choose predictability over growth, even when predictability guarantees erosion. This is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to understand the storm you are standing inside. We now enter the mathematical core of this phenomenon. Lesson 1. The melting vault. A savings account behaves like a vault made of ice, solid at first glance. But constantly melting under the heat of inflation, the purchasing power of money halves approximately every 24 years, which means $100,000 today may buy the equivalent of only $50,000 worth of goods by the time you retire. This is not speculation. It is arithmetic. Yet intelligent people rarely calculate purchasing power loss, only nominal balances. You measure height while standing on sinking sand. Lesson 2. The hidden tax mechanism. Inflation is a tax without legislation. It transfers wealth from savers to asset owners. From the cautious to the leveraged. Imagine a slow internal bleeding that never triggers pain receptors. Your financial body weakens, but you feel fine. Central banks expand money supply. Asset prices rise. Cash remains static. The result is what I call the cognitive blind spot of stability. Because numbers stay constant, the mind assumes reality stays constant, but reality compounds invisibly. Lesson 3. The linear versus exponential purchasing power divide. Saving is linear. Investing is exponential. If you save $1,000 monthly at 2% for 25 years, you accumulate around $385,000. Invest the same at 8% and the result approaches $950,000. But inflation adjusted, the difference is even more dramatic. One path preserves comfort. The other preserves freedom. And here is the law. In an inflationary system, standing still is mathematically equivalent to moving backward. But numbers alone cannot explain why intelligent people remain trapped. The deeper answer lies inside human psychology. And we now enter the behavioral storm. Lesson 4. The morphine account. A savings account is psychological morphine. It reduces anxiety, but also reduces urgency. Behavioral economics shows that certainty creates emotional reward loops similar to addiction pathways. You check your balance, even as your real wealth erodes. This is the savings dopamine loop. Safety becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. Lesson 5, the herd harbor. Humans are social animals. If everyone around you saves conservatively, Deviation feels dangerous, like a wolf leaving the pack. Yet wealth historically accumulates among those willing to tolerate temporary discomfort. The herd values safety. The market rewards courage. This creates the herd harbor effect, where collective behavior reinforces suboptimal financial strategy. Lesson 6. The golden cushion trap. Comfort can be more dangerous than crisis. A steady salary combined with modest savings creates what I call the golden cushion. Soft enough to prevent urgency, not soft enough to create freedom. Most intelligent people never feel pain severe enough to force structural change. So they drift until time removes their optionality. And this is where the storm becomes irreversible. But there is still a path to resilience. And we now move to the tactical operating system. Lesson 7. The financial body armor strategy. Before facing inflation, you must build body armor. I call this the margin of safety vest. 6 to 12 months of living expenses in liquid reserves. Not for growth, for survival. Beyond that threshold, capital must become soldiers, invested into productive assets, businesses, index funds, real estate, anything capable of compounding faster than inflation. This transforms fear into strategic clarity. Lesson 8. The 3. Asset deployment rule. To survive the operational protocol, 1 portion in safety reserves, 1 portion in growth assets, 1 portion in skill acquisition. This triad creates what I call orbital stability. Too much safety, you sink. Too much risk, you crash. Balanced deployment creates trajectory. Lesson 9. The death list. This is my death list. Do not hoard cash beyond necessary reserves. Do not chase speculative assets to outrun inflation. Do not inflate lifestyle during early compounding years. These behaviors destroy financial escape velocity. Minefields are rarely visible, but always lethal. And here is the final law. Inflation punishes hesitation and rewards disciplined motion. Imagine yourself at 85. You are sitting in a quiet room, watching sunlight move across the floor. Your life is compressed into memories, not balances, not spreadsheets, memories. You are not asking whether your savings account felt safe. You are asking whether you understood the invisible forces shaping your destiny. Money at its core is not accumulation. It is autonomy. It is reduced cortisol. It is the ability to choose purpose over necessity. The tragedy of inflation is not that it erodes money, it erodes time. Because every year you delay structural understanding, compounding loses momentum. And momentum is life's most irreplaceable asset. If you are serious about protecting your financial future from inflation theft, I want you to write 1 sentence in the comments. I will not let inflation steal my future. This is not a poll. This is a contract. And when the day arrives that your investments outpace inflation consistently, return to this video. Reply to yourself, I secured my freedom. That's all.